Hey everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. I'm Mario Martinez Jr., CEO and founder of Vengreso, and I am excited that you're going to be here today with the onboarding of FlyMSG. Congratulations and welcome to a very amazing tool that will help increase your productivity and help you to engage better with buyers if you're in the sales community. With that in mind, whether you're an individual user, seller or not, or a corporate user, seller or not, this onboarding session will be specifically for you. I'm going to take you through today 6 different tools that you'll be able to utilize. Primarily, I'll be showing these tools in 2 locations, Gmail and LinkedIn. Keep in mind, no matter what, FlyMSG works everywhere online. So while I'm showing you primarily 2 different tools like Gmail and LinkedIn, this would work inside of Salesforce, HubSpot, or any web-based application where you're typing and engaging online. So that's important to understand. So even though I show you a lot about LinkedIn and Gmail, remember, FlyMSG works everywhere online. Okay? Great. Now, with that in mind, I'm going to take you through all 6 of these tools, and I'm going to help you understand how to utilize and install and get up and running. And I'll even give you some quick hacks that you can use while you're on platforms like LinkedIn, as an example. So let's go ahead and get started. And we're going to start first with the proper onboarding. Let me take you into the application. All right. Right now, you should be on the Flyboard page. That's where you should have landed at. Now, if you're not here yet, or you're somewhere else and you're watching this for the first time, we're going to do a couple things just to make sure we've got the basics down. First, over here, whether you're on Chrome or Edge, there is a puzzle piece, a puzzle icon that you can see right here. You're going to want to click that puzzle icon, and you're going to want to make sure that you've downloaded and installed and pinned with the blue pin the FlyMSG extension here. Now, if you have not done this at all, then you're going to want to go to basically the Chrome store. And here we can go to Chrome, search FlyMSG. FlyMSG, by the way, is the name of the product. And you can download it directly from here. This will work the same way from the Edge marketplace as well. So make sure. Now, it's very important that this is always purple. The FM logo is always purple. If you ever see an exclamation point in purple or gray with an exclamation point, you know you've got a problem and you're probably going to have to sign back in. So to make sure you see it, click the little puzzle icon, click the pin mark, and you will then be able to see the actual purple FM button there. Phenomenal. Now let's go to the onboarding. I want to make sure that you know how to set up the onboarding. So I'm just going to show you right quick. What I did was I clicked on the graduation hat right here. Once you click on that graduation hat, you can resume the onboarding. This is additional learning inside of here, but you can resume the onboarding. And I'm going to go inside of here and resume that onboarding. All right, so now I've resumed the onboarding, and here I am right here. So this is going to have you make sure that you put the puzzle icon here, and then you click the pin. That's what's going to tell you to do. Follow the prompts on the screen. Then you're going to land on this particular page. This is very important that you fill this information out. This is going to set up grammar right out of the gate, so you don't have to do anything else other than select your language. Now, many people ask, can I just select auto detect? What I recommend is that you actually utilize the language that you're going to be writing in the most, in this case, American English. If, as an example, you use auto detect and you're going back and forth between, say, Spanish and English, sometimes what happens is when you've selected auto detect, which is right here, it begins correcting words that you don't want it to correct. So force it with one language and one language only. Fill in this information, and as you go through, there's a series of pages that you'll go through and finish that onboarding. Now, once you're done with onboarding here, you'll land back onto the Flyboard. Let's go back. All right, so now we got here to this page once we've completed the onboarding. This is called additional learning. And inside of here, you'll see check marks and some that are not checked. As you watch the videos and as you follow the instructions down here, each one of these items will get marked. Now, theoretically, you could avoid going through this because you're going to watch this whole entire onboarding session. However, if you have not gone through this and you want to go through the additional training, these are short videos right here that will teach you pretty much everything without all of the extra tips and tricks that I'm going to teach you right here on this onboarding webinar. Okay. Now, let's first get started with going through several different elements of the application. Let me orientate you. First off, this is called the Flyboard. Flyboard is just a fancy name for, AKA, the dashboard. And the dashboard is going to tell you information about how much time you've saved, how many fixes we've made, how much you saved in cost savings. This is going to be either if you're a corporate user, dictated by your corporation, or if you're an individual user, it's going to be based on your actual income that you put in. And the average is set at $31 per hour. Okay? This will tell you exactly whether or not you're getting your money's worth. In addition, you'll see other pieces of information, including recently added, recently used, and most used. These assets here, you'll be able to quickly access them. I'm going to open up the menu here on the left-hand side using the hamburger icon. And right over here, I'll give you orientation. You should see something called FlyCuts. What are FlyCuts? AKA your shortcuts, also called snippets as well. In these, you can create multiple categories and subcategories as well if you like to do that inside of here. So that's the way our brain thinks, is essentially categorizing and subcategorizing topics. So that's your shortcuts. Inside of something called fly plates. Fly plates are our templates. It's our library. You can check out of our library any number of items that you want to. And with that in mind, you can borrow them from the library. If they're a premium license and you're on a freemium plan, you're going to have to upgrade. But the non-premium ones, which don't say premium, you can borrow at any point in time. So long as you have a plan, you can borrow them from our library. FlyShare. FlyShare is the ability for you to be able to share a specific message that you've created for auto text expansion, and you can essentially share that with anybody else that also has a FlyMSG account. Now, some of you may or may not see Roleplay yet. This is the latest product that we're rolling out. This is for AI sales roleplay so that you can do practicing on cold calling and discovering calls. And then there's something called Fly Learning. Again, for salespeople, it stores the 15 hours of sales prospecting training content. If you're an administrator, you'll see an administration function, and then you'll see something called Account Center so that you can manage all of the accounts on your inside your FlyMSG account. All right. What we're going to do first is we want to try to create a similar environment to our fly plates, which is categories and subcategories, and build those out inside of our shortcuts. Now, why do we want to do this? Well, here's why. I'm actually going to show you on the screen right now. Give me 1 second and I'll switch over. So I landed here on Gmail, and I'm going to show you the auto text expander capabilities. This works anywhere online: Salesforce, SalesLoft, Outreach, websites, anywhere there's an editable field, Gmail, Outlook Online, HubSpot, LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Now, inside this email, watch what happens when I write -BAM for book a meeting. Boom, a message pops up right here on the screen. In addition, I could also do -profile. And inside of this, I can attach GIFs and images, rich text, and I can build out templates. So I can just come inside here and change it to the person that I want and then hit send and go, or customize whatever it is that I'm looking to customize. Now, what you just saw right here, I'm going to come inside of here and you're going to see immediately the grammar checker beginning to work inside of here. And right inside of here, you can see that if I mouse over any one of these words that are highlighted in red, I can just click it and it automatically changes it back to included, the correct spelling. So that's grammar working right there. Grammar works everywhere online. So if you see an orange dot like this little orange dot, that dot right there will be the grammar checker. And so we're working everywhere you go, and we're changing hundreds of thousands of corrections. The other piece that you can do with the grammar, which I'll show you right here since I'm here, is you can actually have it autocorrect. So you might start noticing that as you type, it might start filling in content like this. Now, As you can see, this is dark and this is light right here. So this is the FlyMSG grammar engine, and it's doing predictive sentence writing or predictive word writing for you. Now, the best way to use this is to use the right arrow on your keyboard. Yes, the tab button works. However, in various parts of Google only, Google Mail, the tab button will actually be intercepted by Google for tab features inside of Gmail. So they're overriding all of the extension providers like ourselves. But the right arrow works everywhere, no matter what. So watch what happens when I click the right arrow. Boom, it automatically writes the rest of the wording there. So that is called predictive writing, and that's included inside of here as well. It's available on the growth plan. So I'm showing you grammar as we go, and you can see I'm building out messages as we go as well. So you have the ability to create these what's called messages, these templates. And the templates are pretty cool to be able to be used inside of Gmail. I could either use my shortcut, or I can click on this FM fly message icon here, and I can go and search for, man, what was that message I used to use for booking a meeting? I go and search, I click the word book, I search, I then mouse over -BAM. I could also mouse over any of them that have the word book inside of that. So we're looking for the word book inside of your FlyCut, inside of your title and description, inside of the actual message itself. And if this is the one that I want, all I got to do is click it. And when I click it, it automatically inserts, as you see right here, the third item at the bottom where my cursor was at. Okay, so that is the ability to be able to use Text Expander. Text Expander works everywhere online. It works on LinkedIn as an example. So I'm just going to come inside here, the comment box, and I'm going to type -BAM, and you can see I built out an entire message. So think of the use cases of something that you write over and over and over again. Maybe if you're in accounting, maybe it's certain messages for people for asking for money. Maybe if you're in sales, it's all the sales template messaging that you use for connecting with somebody, cold outbound, or you figure out the use cases. But the Text Expander works everywhere. So let's take some time to learn how to utilize that. First, under FlyCuts, how do you build out all these categories? There's several ways, but I'm going to show you the big one. You can click right here. If you click on the hamburger icon inside of FlyMSG, let me just double check that we're on the right spot. Yep, good. Inside of FlyMSG here, open the hamburger icon, click the settings icon. When you click the settings icon, you'll come here to a box that says Manage Categories. Go ahead and click that. And what you're going to do here is you're going to simply click Add Category. For the demonstration purposes, I want you to type admin and then click save. Once you're done with that, now do it again. Type in sales if you're in sales and click save. And then do one step more. Type in, do it all over again. So I'll do that again. Add category. Now we're going to put referral messaging. And we're going to nest that underneath our sales category right here, underneath our sales category. Now, if for some reason you created a category, but you're not seeing it here, it's not loading up inside of here, just hard refresh this page right up here, and then they'll display. Okay, very good. So now that you've added admin, sales, and referral messaging, what you should see under your FlyCuts is a sales category with an orange arrow that looks like this, and now you've got referral messaging right inside of there. All right. So now you've just started adding some categories in mass quantity. Now, there's other ways to add categories in individual quantities as well. You can certainly do that. You'll do that. And as you start playing around with FlyMSG, you'll see those prompts where you can do that. But just to be sure, we clicked on the settings icon, bottom left, manage categories, and then add category here. All right. Very good. Now what we want to do is I want all of you to go ahead and come over to the fly plates. Remember, fly plates are templates, yeah? Templates. So we're going to come over to fly plates. We're going to click on general. And when we click on general, you're going to see something called -BRB. -BRB. Oh, by the way, if I'm talking super fast, just pause the video. And then you can go ahead and execute on anything that I say to execute on. I'm going to try to pack in as much information as possible to this onboarding webinar for you. So just go ahead and pause the video. All right. Now we're inside of fly plates under general and we're inside of BRB. When we open that up, how do you know that you're in a non-editable area? How do we know that you're in a non-editable area? Well, it's pretty darn simple. Number one, you don't see any editing controls as I'm pointing out here on the screen. No bold, no italics, no underline. It also says that this fly plate has not been added to your fly cut. In addition, it also has your button right here that says add to FlyCuts. So this is going to tell you that you're in a template area, not a editable fly cut area. Okay. All right. Now to actually add a fly plate to your fly cuts, you would simply just click add to fly cuts right inside of here. Once there, you're going to pick a category. For the BRB, we're going to do this as a demo, and everybody's going to pick their admin folder. I called it general admin. You can change it later, but just go ahead and pick your admin folder. Once you put it there under general admin, you're going to click save. Now, what's going to happen is as soon as you click save, it'll drop you right back to this particular category, this particular page. Some people think that it should throw us right back into our fly cuts. But that's not what we're going to do. We're not going to kick you out of the library because you may want to check out more things from the library. So if once that's done for this demonstration purposes, you're going to go in and you're going to go look for your fly cuts underneath your general admin, and you're going to look for dash BRB inside there, right? That's what you're going to look for. Now, it looks like I deleted mine. So give me 1 second while I add it back inside of here. So I'm going to be right back. Okay, so I just added it like I told you to do, and I dropped it into my general admin, your admin folder. And there it is right here. Now to see it, all I have to do is click on it like you see here. Now I'm going to, click on it right over here. And what I want you to do is we're going to be editing this area inside of here. Now, I'm going to actually take off my face here so that you have a full view of the material and content inside of here. So let's go over the anatomy of a fly message. There are 3 parts to a fly message. Part number 1, you're going to have something called a fly cut. This is the actual shortcut that you will type out anywhere online. Part number 2, you're going to have the title and description. This title and description is purely only for you to remember when, how, and or where that you would use this shortcut at. So you can give it any description that you want. The third part is going to be the actual fly message itself. That is the content of this particular message here. That's the content. And you know that you're in an editable area when you see all of the bold, underline, italicized areas that I mentioned earlier that you didn't see on the fly plate. So that's how you know you're in an editable fly cut area. All right, fantastic. So now that we're inside of here, we've got our dash BRB. Now, people oftentimes ask me, hey, Mario, can I change this? Do I have to use a dash? Is that required? The answer is no, it's not required for you to use a dash of any sort. However, it is an insurance policy. What do I mean by that? The insurance policy is if I remove the dash from this particular fly cut, when I remove that particular dash, every time I type BRB anywhere online, the words that I have in this area, the actual message, will appear inside of here, okay? They will appear inside of there. Well, that's not good if you have an application called BRB and you don't want Be Right Back to be popping out. This is also case sensitive as well. And so you don't want this to be all uppercase and then you start typing it out and it doesn't work when you really typed out something that was in lowercase. And a couple of tips around creating shortcuts. If you're creating a series of messages like BRB, BRB2, BRB3, BRB4, which are basically a series of messages that you would send an individual. Maybe it's a cadence that you've got, or maybe it's a multi-set of reminders for accounts payable. You owe me money. Message number 1, message number 2. Maybe it's a sales message. Maybe it's a customer success message that you have for week 1, week 2, week 3. What you want to think about is not putting dash BRB and then the next one being dash BRB2. No, 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 no. You need to start with the dash BRB1 because if you have just dash BRB and then you created another one called dash BRB2, every single time that you type out the first dash BRB, if you have one with the baseline, that is what's going to build out. Hopefully that made sense. So if you have a multiple series, it's BRB1, the next one is BRB2, the next one is BRB3, the next one is BRB4, etc. Do not start with the baseline without the number because every time you want to build out dash BRB2, it's going to build out the words for dash BRB. All right. And the dash is, as I explained, you can also use slash as well. That's what we recommend is dash or slash. I like using dashes. It's pretty darn easy on the keyboard for my finger to be able to click that element on the keyboard. All right, let's go into the message. What I want you to do is I want you to drop your cursor right here next to the K. We're going to put a period and enter twice. What you'll begin to see is that this is auto-saving. We auto-save the text expansion there. All right, fantastic. You also begin to notice that this number 11 is now showing version number 11. Now, what we're going to write inside of here is we're going to write test. That's all we're going to write. This will say version 12, and this will say auto-saving. Now, we want to test this out. So to test out your fly message, you're going to click try it out. Try it out. There are two functions, simple text and rich text. What's the difference? Simple text are for platforms like LinkedIn, Slack Online, WhatsApp Online, where you can't embed a picture by just simply clicking Control V. You actually have to attach the image. Whereas rich text are platforms like Gmail or Outlook Online, where you can embed, as an example, that Giphy that I showed you earlier right over here, where you can embed a rich text image right inside there. Okay? So we're going to practice this on simple text. The instructions are clear. They're right here. You don't have to think. So just type dash BRB and bada bing, bada boom, you can see it builds out. But let's try dash BRB here and bada bing, bada boom. It builds out. So now you know that your actual shortcut is working. Great. That's the try it out function. Now what we want to do is you're going to go out to Vengreso.com or FlyMSG.io. Goes to the same exact spot. When you land there, go over resources and then blog. Pick any blog. It doesn't matter what blog. So let's watch how this would work. I mouse over resources. I pick any blog by clicking on the image right inside of here. Boom, I click the image. And now what we're going to do is we're going to grab a multimedia asset. So right click right here. Copy image. Right click on the image, copy image. And then we're going to come back to fly message. We're going to hit enter twice and control V. If you're on a Mac, it's command V. And boom, now you can see our images inside there. So let's go ahead and test this out. So we're going to click try it out on rich text dash BRB. Oh, come on. There it goes. Dash BRB. So it built it out twice because I typed that twice. So just so you see it again, live demos dash BRB right inside there. And now the image is there. But what happens if you built this out for LinkedIn messaging as an example? Dash BRB. Uh-oh, our image is gone. Oh no. Don't worry. Just copy that URL and watch the magic. Here we go. And what you're doing is we're scraping that content and storing it or serving it up so that the engines on LinkedIn messaging and or on WhatsApp will scrape up this image and put a nice pretty thumbnail inside there for you. Okay, so that's what we're doing inside there. Phenomenal. A couple other things that you have access to. For example, there's version control. There's the action button. So if you're ever working on a platform like LinkedIn where you've got a limited number of characters, you don't have to copy and paste your fly message into, say, a Word doc or a Google Doc. You can just come here under actions and you can do a total word count and we'll tell you how many words you have, how many characters, paragraph lines, etc. And you can stay underneath the character limitation. In addition, you also have something called version history. You can get to version history here, or you can get to version history there by clicking on the purple clock right here. And what you can do is if you have a minimum growth plan or a corporate plan, then you can roll back to up to 999 messages. Yes, 999 messages or versions. Excuse me, versions is the better word to say. Now, why is this so cool? Such a cool feature. So perhaps the idea here is that you're actually thinking about as an example, think about sales messaging. Maybe as an example, you are iterating and iterating and iterating on that message. How many of us save it on that same Word doc? Usually on a Google Doc, OneNote, Evernote, Notepad, Notebook, draft email, or worse yet, we hunt and peck for it inside of our sent folder. Well, if that's the case, guess what? You now have the Walmart rollback special so that you can roll back to a previous version that you may have been using. Okay. And with that in mind, the use case is you've maybe changed that message several times and you want to roll back to a previous version that you were using. No problem. You can do that. And now you just can click that version icon right inside there. And you can then add on go back to any version you want. So I'm just going to pull up this version right here at the bottom, click. And now you can see this is the current version. And this is the one that I want to roll back to. So all I simply do is click make current version. I say yes, make that the current version. We don't kick you out of your version controls right here, but we do leave that up in case you want to roll back again. Close that out, and now bada bing, bada boom, you're on Dash BRB. So for all of you that have those messages that you have been storing on a Google Doc, Word doc, OneNote, Evernote, Notepad, Notebook, draft email, or worse yet, you go and hunt and peck for them in your sent folder, long gone are those days. You can now take all of your messages that you have, snippets, short codes, and you can put them into the cloud so that you don't have to remember them and you can build out shortcuts. I'll show you an example use case of that. For example, I'm inside of here. This could be the calendar function. Maybe I'm inside of Google Chat, or I'm inside of Outlook online chat, or Salesforce chat. I'm going to type in, someone says, hey, let's go ahead and meet. I say, yeah, no problem. I type in -ZM and I've got something as simple as my Zoom meeting link inside there, right? So you've got that ability to build out anything. This could be also, I'm asked all the time, hey, where do I go to download Chrome? I just type in Chrome and boom, you can see a little snippet of text is inside there. Or I can make it as complex as embedding images inside of here, like videos and Giphies, those types of things, okay? So we've just learned how to utilize the text expander feature. That's FlyCuts and FlyPlates. And you've learned how to be able to create a fly message, what the FlyCut is, title and description, fly message. I've also showed you inside of Gmail the capability to do search inside of here and instantly embed just by clicking on that. This feature is also available inside of LinkedIn as well. So as an example, if I click on this message here, you will see, I'm going to turn this to content only, and you will see in this one right here, boom, and you can see this purple icon right inside of LinkedIn messaging, which is right down here at the bottom. And so if I click on it, there you go. Sorry, let's try that again. The purple icon here, if I click on it, it's the same exact interface. So you'll see this in various places on various different applications. Otherwise, if you don't see the purple icon, then you're left to remembering your short code -BAM for book a meeting, as my example is here, right? All right, very good. I showed you also grammar in this process because it was very easy. It was showing up. So inside of grammar, you have the ability to be able to mouse over this. And when you mouse over these items, you can simply click the icon and say, yes, I want to change it. If it's something is not correct, you can mouse over reporting incorrect, or you can just say, hey, dismiss this because its grammar rules are not applying in this particular scenario. So that's the grammar function. Now, if you're ever on a site where you're like, man, Grammar is not working for me. You have the ability inside the settings here, inside the settings, to be able to come in and you can click here. If you click the settings icon right there, when you click that, you can turn it off for this particular site using this setting here for this particular site. You can turn it off. Now, if you're ever interested in wanting to turn it off completely for some strange reason, you would come over here to your settings, and underneath settings, you would go to extension settings. This is where you can change your language at. You can see where I've turned grammar off. And then you have all these other feature sets that you can then turn it off completely by just simply turning it off. And this will inactivate it across all individual sites. All right, so something to keep in mind. The other thing I'm going to show you here on statistics, as an example, let's say you want a true ROI, the true ROI analysis of how much money you actually are saving on productivity. Well, you come over here to settings, come underneath statistics, and when underneath statistics, you can change your wages per hour. That will begin to calculate your cost savings in a more efficient and correct manner. Now, in this case, it is controlled by my administrator, so I cannot lock it down. So the administrator says, hey, you make 75 bucks an hour. On a general basis, but you can put in your cost savings right inside of there. Sorry, your wages per hour, higher or lower, and you can add that. Also, for words per minute, this tells how fast you type. So if you want to be able to make sure you have a more accurate cost savings, the average typer is 40 words per minute. That's where we set it at. If you're faster, go ahead and add a number 5. I say leave it alone. 40 words per minute is pretty darn accurate, especially if you make a lot of mistakes. All right, so that's the extension settings. Next, what you want to do next is after setting up your FlyCuts, you want to build out your persona. Now, you're going to want to do this, and so that everywhere that we write for you, you will be able to write in your voice. Now, there's a couple strategies that you can use here. For those of you that are on the free plan or maybe one of our old lifetime plans, you only have access to one of these and you can't make changes to it. So if you want to have more than that, like your Mario friendly voice or assertive voice, or maybe you sell to multiple industries. Yeah, maybe you sell to multiple industries and you've got Mario the transportation voice, Mario the manufacturing voice, Mario the SaaS voice, right? You can create those different types of voices so that every time we write, you can select what persona you want us to use, and we'll write in that persona. So you would just simply add persona. I'm going to go in and edit one so that you can actually see. The first 6 pieces of information are required. So drop in your professional interest inside of here. Drop in your friendly voice. Note you can change that to be angry voice, assertive voice. You could have different types of tones as you can see inside of here. So label them here as you so please. And you could only have one default, only one default. So this is going to be a person voice. If you're using FlyMSG, for example, on a LinkedIn company page, you would highlight this as a company voice. Then you can throw in your LinkedIn URL. We'll go and read that. You can add in some other pieces of information, and certainly taboos, politics, religion. And by the way, here, I want to highlight that less is more. Less is more under content and networking. The more content you put inside here, the more information you put on networking, the more we're going to start saying those things inside there. So less is more. Once you're done with that, you're going to want to then generate the emulation instructions, read it, and if in the example it makes sense, then save that persona and go. And you can rinse and repeat and do that multiple times for the different types of voices. I will show you next how to go about utilizing all of these writing features that we're going to do next. So we've learned text expander, we've seen grammar, we've done extension settings, we've done persona now. And now what we're going to go into is learning how to utilize paragraph rewrite and LinkedIn commenting and LinkedIn social posts. And then I'll save the sales sales prospecting training. So AI writer is next. and then LinkedIn commenting and LinkedIn social posts. You'll want to learn how to utilize these features right now. Hold on 1 second and let me get you over to LinkedIn. And we're just going to use LinkedIn as our testing ground there. Okay, as I said, we're going to take a look at one of the coolest features that I absolutely love, which is called the paragraph and sentence rewriter. So here on the Gmail, this works anywhere online. So this could be on LinkedIn, this could be on inside of HubSpot, this could be inside of Salesforce, anywhere online. You have the ability to be able to highlight something. And you may have noticed a couple times when I was highlighting, this little magic wand came up. Well, watch this. We're going to basically do a dash profile. Oops, sorry. Let me try that again. Dash profile. All right. So now inside here, I got a template. So various use cases that we're going to go through. If you see, I can highlight an entire sentence. And what is this? This little purple magic wand popped up. When I click on it, it immediately sends this paragraph directly to the first item that I have here in all of these options. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different things that I can do with AI to be able to write. And this is the power of the AI writer being directly inside of your workflow. Yeah. I can grab this and I can move this around to anywhere I want on the screen. So I'm just going to move it here to ensure that I can see you can see me and you can see the content as well here. So as you can see, this rewrote the content, but if I clicked on humanize right here, if I click on humanize, it's actually going to send it to AI and it's going to give our special prompt that we have built in the back end that's going to humanize this piece of content. I could either copy it or I can regenerate it or I can replace it. I could also change the tone on this and make this whole entire sentence or paragraph that I highlighted in a funny tone as an example. And you can see here, per our conversation, included is a 10-minute video on the LinkedIn process that's included in our licensing fees. Okay, it says, all right, as per our little chat, I've conjured up a magical 10-minute video for you. So you can see there's some comedy inside there. You could also change it to any other tone that you may want inside of here. Alternatively, I can click on make shorter. Now, this is something that you might want to be thinking about when, in fact, you are, as an example, writing sales messages. And maybe you feel that paragraph or that sentence is a little bit too long. No problem, make it shorter. Or perhaps you want to make it a little bit beefier. Maybe you want to have more content inside there and you need some help with AI to get the essence of what you've written, but then expand on that content. And so you can see here, once I replace it, it's going to be a much longer paragraph inside of here. Now, can I change it up? Absolutely. Can I start modifying? You absolutely bet your life that you can. And whatever I start modifying, as you can see, pops up our red highlights inside of here, and you can go ahead and use the grammar checker as an example inside of here. Now, I want to give you some other tips inside of here. You can see a highlight and the FlyMSG AI rewrite pops up, and I have a button called Translate here. So let me take myself off of the layout here so you can fully see everything. I have something called translate inside of here. Now, when would I use something like that? Well, let's pretend that you're selling to someone and you know based upon their LinkedIn profile that they speak, I don't know, German. Great. So what I'm going to do inside of here, I'm going to translate this and I want to type in German right inside of here. I'm going to use German. And then here's a phenomenal way to get super hyper personalized. You can actually put that first sentence inside of German right there. So that's a great way from a sales perspective. And as you can see, it's going to show something in writing here, highlight it because I'm using both German and Spanish. I'm sorry, German and English. Inside here, there's going to be some corrections that are going to show up inside of here for the red for grammar, right? So just FYI. So I can also utilize the concept of continue writing. So let me think about it this way. Let's go ahead and highlight this sentence. And let's say I want AI to continue my thought writing process. No problem. And so there it goes. Your original said your email will be required to view this video and is for security purposes only. Now it says, we assure you that your email will not be shared with any third parties or used for unsolicited marketing. So that's an example of where AI is trying to interpret what exactly am I meaning, and then it'll expand on that. By the way, again, if you want to move this around anywhere, just grab those 6 dots. You can drag it and move it around as you see. And let's say that you want to cross compare and you just want to copy it. Sure, no problem. You come over here and you can say, well, how long does this look? I'm going to copy and paste it, and you can see, okay, this is a little bit longer inside there, right? So that's how you can use the copy function inside there. All right, very good. Now this works again everywhere online. So just double click something or highlight the whole entire paragraph and look for the FlyMSG magic wand, the FlyMSG magic wand. That's what you're looking for. All right. So that's paragraph rewrite, and that's the power that you've got in your hands. Look for that, begin using it. You'll have a lot of fun with that particular element. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you back and I'm going to show you now some of the LinkedIn functionality inside that you've got. So let's go ahead and delete this out so that it doesn't get accidentally sent. Oops, what did I do here? Okay, done. All right. One of my coolest features that I love seeing is what's called the comment generator. This works both on LinkedIn and LinkedIn Sales Navigator, both on LinkedIn and LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So I'll show you LinkedIn first. So let's assume that I'm going to comment on Janice Berthold's post. I can come inside of here, I click comment, and up pops up 3 standard buttons: curious, optimistic, and thoughtful. Now, all I have to do is click the curious button. We go ahead and read the entire post and who it's writing from. And as you can see, hey, Janice, Jan, parentheses, AI is smart enough to say Jan. Now, I can come inside here and I can edit. This is human-assisted AI. This is inside your workflow. We're not auto-posting. Remember, we're not auto-posting, right? So with that in mind, your job is to do 3 things. Pay close attention to this. 3 things that you must do every single time. Did you hear me on that? 3 things that you must do every single time. Number 1, you must read the comment and ensure that it's contextually relevant, to the post. So that means you need to take 30 seconds to read the post, and you need to take up to 20 seconds to read the comment at most. Okay? Number two, you need to edit to your like and tasting. Maybe you don't want the emojis. Maybe you don't want the hashtags inside there. No problem. You can delete some of these things out. You need to make sure you delete what it is that you don't want inside there. Or you could also use paragraph rewrite right inside there, and you can improve the writing and humanize. There is actually something I forgot to show you on paragraph rewrite, which I'll show you right now. Let's say you love humanize and you love speaking that way each and every time. You see those 6 little dots right there? These 6 dots? When you mouse over it, you can actually move it. So every single time this module opens up, when you click on that this little magic wand, every single time, now humanize is going to be at the top. As you can see right here, humanize will be at the top. So whatever you want first, go ahead and move that around. Okay? So I can change something around right inside of here by editing and then adjusting. I could also use paragraph rewrite. As soon as I start typing inside of here, you will see that the grammar checker comes on, and now I can go ahead and make changes on that particular element of the grammar checker if I want to do that. The third thing I'm going to do on every comment. So first thing, read for contextual relevance. That's what I'm going to do. Read for contextual relevance. The second thing is going to edit to my like and tasting. And the third thing that I'm going to do always, never, ever post a comment without tagging the individual. So just put your cursor in front of the name, hit the @ symbol, then you tag Jan, in this case, Janice Berthold, and I'm going to then delete out the last name so that I can just have the first name. You could also leave the last name, and it doesn't really matter. But the reason why, now listen to this very carefully. The reason why that you want to make sure you tag is because if you're doing LinkedIn social selling, if you're doing social selling, number one, when you at mention somebody, it'll show up inside of the notifications bar right up over here. It'll show up inside the notifications bar, yeah, that you see right up over there. Number two, you will see this pop up as a notification that Mario has mentioned you on a mobile device, or sorry, the individual that's receiving it on a mobile device. They'll see that. And number three, and the most important one, here you go. If you're doing LinkedIn social selling, when you app mention someone and they have not looked at it on mobile or they have not looked at it on desktop within usually 24 hours, then they'll receive an email. And that email will be a dedicated email with your beautiful face on it, with your headline. And it'll say, Mario has app mentioned you. And oftentimes it'll show the first 11 words of your comment. And then it says, click here to go to your comment. So that's really important because LinkedIn.com emails have a 100% deliverability rate. LinkedIn.com emails have a 100% deliverability rate. Okay. So you can now regenerate, or maybe you want to edit the prompt. You can come here and you can click edit. Let me just actually change the layout so I can show you that one more time. Hold on one second. So click that. I can click the right side of the button, which is the envelope. Once I've clicked it, I can also click the edit button right here, which is what you see there. And up inside of here, I can remove my hashtags, remove my emojis. And by the way, I can change my persona inside of here. So this is where that persona is coming in that we're doing that. Now, you may be wondering, hey, I can't change the tone. Well, yeah, because you have a persona that has a particular tone. Every persona has a tone. So you can't have a competitive threat, meaning you can't have two different tones that are competing with each other. So if you don't want your voice, then you can turn it to a blank voice and let AI roll with just an inspirational, motivational, assertive, etc., etc. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my friendly voice here, and I don't want any emojis or hashtags, and I want to generate. And so there you go. Now you've got a new comment inside here. So let's take a look at these buttons. Our most popular one is the curious one that asks a question to solicit engagement. Optimistic is the super happy-go-lucky, very excitable type of message there. And thoughtful is a bit more subdued, a bit more calm, a bit more relaxed, right? So that is the messaging there that you would get under thoughtful. Remember, there's a left side and a right side to every button. Left side, right side. Left side activates the prompt. The right side brings up the prompt generator so that you can see the details inside of that particular prompt and you can add additional information. The additional instructions you see here, if you just mouse over, you can add additional context to this inside there. Now, what I want to show you is that I've got some custom buttons set up. So there is this custom button feature right here, which is kind of like the one-time use. So if I click custom, I can come inside here and I can do my text expander, and I can have predefined prompts that I just, as you just saw, I did, right? Predefined prompts that I've got inside of here. So you can customize that. You can say no hashtags, no emojis, friendly voice, etc., etc. So that's the one-time use. Or if I want to create a disagree button, I can come over here to these three dots right here, click on prompt library. And when I click on prompt library, I can come down here to add a new prompt. So when I come over here and add a new prompt, I come inside of here and I say, I'm going to title this as the disagree. Remember, this is the name of the prompt or the button, excuse me, name of the button. I'm going to use my friendly voice. I'm going to have no hashtags, no emojis. And here is where I'm going to now put in my custom prompt. You are going to be replying like Mario Martinez Jr. That's the and sorry, and you are going to respectfully, live demo, disagree with the author's, let's correct that, author's post, but do so in a professional manner. Okay, so now I hit save, and when I do hit save, you will see that you've got now a button named disagree. You can move this button around by just simply dragging it up, dragging it back down. So this is a custom button that will always be there. So if you have a specific prompt that you want and you want AI to be able to do all the functionality that we already have, which is we know exactly what we're looking for. We're going to read the person's post, we're going to read the author's name, then we're going to write a comment for them. You can create that custom button and you can move that button to the forward, to the back, etc. So that is going to be a really cool feature. I have a disagree button, I have a sarcastic button inside there. And if I want to get rid of it, I just simply come inside of here and I can say, you know what, delete the sarcastic button and delete the disagree button. That's what I can do there. Okay. So now you've got commenting down inside of here. All right. Let's go now to writing social media posts. Social media posts. Now, traditionally, social media posts take a long time. Most of you go to ChatGPT, and inside of ChatGPT, you tell it to do something and it spits out some social media post, and then you copy and paste inside there. However, what is the difference between our social post generator and ChatGPT social post generator? Well, many things, including we're not going to make it look like you've just written a ChatGPT item. So, you can come inside here and click the thought leadership button, the company news button, to celebrate something, any of those items inside there. And you have three ways to be able to write content. Number one, you can put a topic. So you want AI to write about how to be an amazing cook and balance work life family. You can say, I want this to be a short, medium, or long post. And then you'll notice that these two items are grayed out. You can't add in a blog. You can't add in a YouTube URL. Well, that's obvious because I've already given it a topic. And there is all this work and prompt engineering that we have in the background that is going to build out a beautiful LinkedIn post that we know will be viral, that we know will actually have all the viral components and be written in the way that will get the most amount of attention. But you can't have competing topics. So if you want to be able to utilize the blog URL, meaning you drop in a blog URL from your company website, I'll show you that in a second, and have us read it and then write a social post, you would obviously have to delete out the topic here. I'll show you in just one moment. All right. Now I say I don't want any hashtags, or I do want hashtags, I don't want emojis. And maybe I want to add on some additional color. So maybe the additional color is something to the effect of, maybe it's a case study. Maybe it's talk a little bit about, and then you put in some of the results. Or you leave it blank. You leave it blank. So that's an option you have there. Additionally, if you mark this as none, you'll see that the tone all of a sudden became ungrayed out. So I can change the tone there, or as soon as I select persona, it automatically is going to change the tone. And if you want to write in a different language, all you have to do is click here and you can choose any language you want. Oh, I may have forgotten something. Some people may have wondered, what about content that's written in a different language? Will you write a response back in English only? The answer is we will automatically write back a response in the same exact language that the author has written their post in. We will automatically write a response back in the same language that the author has written the post in. So that's just an FYI there. However, it's different on start a post. The difference on start a post is that you have to prompt the social post generator to change the language, which you'll find right inside of here. Okay. All right. Let me show you now. What if I want to grab a post from my company blog? What do I then do? No problem. I come over here and I can paste the URL into the blog. Well, obviously the topic gets grayed out, and obviously the YouTube URL gets grayed out inside there. You can't have both. Sorry about that. So I can leave this completely blank and do absolutely nothing else and say, hey, just write a long post in my friendly voice, click generate. What we're going to do in 9 seconds, we are reading that particular article. We're pulling in all the content, and now you've got to go in and make some corrections. For example, I immediately see that the first hashtag, for some reason, is missing, and we just got to course correct that. And now I've got my post inside of here. I've got some items that I have to probably put the emojis inside there. So just a couple little touch ups inside here. And the other thing too is LinkedIn loves multi paragraphs. So you can add in some breaks inside of here as you read through the content, and then you can begin editing that particular content inside of here. And as you edit the content, again, guess what? Grammar pops up in these places, and we will make sure that we're correcting any of your grammar, spelling, and punctuation that you've got going on. So don't worry, we're following you everywhere you go. Alternatively, guess what? I can highlight, bring up my FlyMSG AI rewriter, and I can humanize this piece and say, oh, you know what? I like the way that says it. I'm going to replace that right inside of there. And bada bing, bada boom, right there. All right. Now, I want to tell you something about posting content. What you'll notice is that the URL that I put inside of the prompt generator, which was this element right here under the blog URL, you'll notice that it's always being added to the actual article. Well, here's the cool part. LinkedIn's going to scrape the URL. It's going to pull in that particular thumbnail. But stop, wait, don't do that. I hit the X button for a reason. What I now want is I want to add media. I want to add media. And the reason why I want to add media is because I will have and own more screen real estate. So I'm going to tag my the company name so that the company can then give my post some attention. Inside there, I hit next. And now I've got the pretty little thumbnail. But if I had used that just the URL inside here, watch how much space I would be taking. I'm going to close this. I'm going to, come on, I'm going to close this. I'm going to discard, and I'm going to come here. There we go. And a control paste. And look at this little tiny thumbnail space. Now, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to show you the difference by posting an image, by saying, no, I don't want you to grab the thumbnail. I want you to grab I want to grab the image inside of here. And boom, boom, and boom. Now what you'll see is that little tiny square that was the rectangle is far outweighed by the image itself. So if you give me a second, I am going to show you what I mean by this and show you in my newsfeed, if I can find something right quick, the difference between an image, text only, videos, and just putting in a URL, just putting in a URL. So let's see if I can find it. Hold on 1 second. All right, I found one. Okay, so this individual, Joe Simons, he created a post and he posted a URL inside of his post right here. You can see that's the URL. And as you can see, it shows just a small little thumbnail. Now, I should have built that out. It was a lot smaller before I hit the see more. Let me see if I can find that one more time. Because if I do that, then it's not going to be showing in the newsfeed the way I want. Give me 1 second here. Okay, let's try this one more time. So what I want to show you is what happens when you use the link instead of an image or a video. So here you see the entire post. Let me draw this. I'm going to show you the actual screen real estate. Now, this is the screen real estate of something that actually has a comment on it. Something that actually has a comment on it. Now, if it did not have a comment, it would actually be this size right here. So there is the 1 and 2. So a comment, as you can see right down over here. And then if it doesn't have a comment. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll up and show you what happens when you have an image. I'll show you not a company. So this is the size of something with just text. It's a little bit smaller. Now you've got multiple images. Okay, so my red line is going to be right inside of here. Let me use LinkedIn. A little up, 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 right. Oop, right there. Oh, so close. Okay. You can kind of get my point actually just by looking at it from this perspective. With multiple images, I'm going to change colors on the screen here and use a different color. Hold on. Black. All right. So now look at the size of this. And it's not even fully on the screen here, right? So if I keep going up, I've got a little bit more up there. So you get more screen real estate versus when there's no comments, you get more screen real estate. Now let's look at a video. There's a video right, or a carousel. Sorry, this is a carousel right here. Look again, it's so much more screen real estate. That's a company. Here we go. This one is a personal video. So let's put this inside the red at the top. Line up the red, and you can see, wow, what a huge difference when you have, look at all that space right there. The comment plus the video when it's vertical format, by the way, that's vertical video format as opposed to that's vertical format. Look how much more space you get versus, let's see if I can find one there. So I'm going to show Corey right here, the horizontal format. You can see right here stops at the red, but I've got a bit more showing of content inside there. So that gives you an idea of why you don't want to just post the link without the actual images. Yeah, very important that you understand that inside there, that you want to make sure you post the images and the drawing and the videos to your social post. All right, so let's scroll all the way back up. Start a post right inside of here and give it a second. Oh, LinkedIn's slowing down on me. Okay, and we're back in action. So you have some other buttons that are inside here. Hiring, celebrate something, thought leadership. Most of us are going to use the thought leadership button that is embedded into this application here. So that's how you use the social post generator. Also, to keep in mind, you can essentially, let me come back on the screen here for you. Here we go. You can also essentially utilize this functionality for YouTube videos, for blog videos, I'm sorry, for blogs, and for just writing under general topics. So just drop in a topic right inside there. Again, how to be an amazing cook. You can drop in a blog, you can drop in a YouTube URL, and away you go. There's all kinds of cool stuff that you can do with respects to the application here, okay? So feel free to play around with this, begin writing social posts, and here's your little hack that you're going to want to be thinking about. You're going to be thinking about 2 to 3 social posts per week in order to be able to attract your target buyer. That's going to be very, very, very important. Okay. So, with that in mind, I'm going to basically take you back in and we're going to show you one last feature of FlyMSG, and that's going to be the Fly Learning Portal. And the Fly Learning Portal is going to give you an opportunity oh, wait, actually, sorry. Let me take you back. I forgot to show you the LinkedIn comment generator inside of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. My apologies. Let me go back over there. So, right about now, you should be able to see the LinkedIn Sales Navigator icon over here. I'm going to click on this little view, the view icon here, and where'd it go? View. And when this pops up, you'll see right over here to my, this way. There we go. To over here, and gotta love LinkedIn. It's taking a moment to load everything up. And let's pretend that I'm selling to Kyle. I'm using my LinkedIn Navigator, my lead list, which is back over here. And I'm going to turn on annotation so you can see my mouse. I'm using the lead list as an example. I'll come over here and you can see all the same exact buttons are built into my application right over here for being able to engage. And I can write a curious reply, I can write a thoughtful reply, etc., etc. It comes up and reads it the exact same way, and bada bing, bada boom. And remember, at mention, well, first read, then edit, and then at mention the individual. Make sure you're doing all your editing and approach and here. And don't forget, you can also use our handy dandy AI writer right embedded into the application inside of here. Okay. All right, very good. So let's go back into FlyMessage, which is here. And on the left-hand side, you're going to see something called Fly Learning. Now, Fly Learning is where we store all of our content at. There's about 15 hours of sales prospecting education right inside there. So when you click on that, it's actually going to open up this application here. And you'll see that you'll land on a section called My Learning. Yours will be blank. There'll be nothing there because you haven't added anything from our catalog. So you want to click on Catalog right over here on the left-hand side. And when you click on catalog, you'll be able to actually see these courses. And right here on this course, you'll be able to, let me just, oops, hold on, layout. Let me come here, content only. Okay. So right here on this course, you'll be able to see the word view, or it might say add to my learning. Let's find one. There it is, add to my learning. We recommend that you begin taking the courses in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the sequential order that you see them. So make sure you're taking those courses 1, 2, 3, 4, like you see them right here in sequential order. Add to your learning. As soon as you add to your learning, then you're going to start seeing courses pile up inside of this area here, and you can begin taking those courses. So you would watch it, complete it, and some of them actually has certificates that you can post at the bottom of your LinkedIn profile, and having a certificate from Vengreso will absolutely be helpful, and it means something because we're the world's largest digital sales prospecting training company, and now covering cold calling as well, which I'm not going to cover the AI roleplay in this particular session. That'll be for a different one. But that having been said, that is the catalog. So again, come over here, catalog, check something out from the catalog by clicking add to my learning. If you've already added it, it'll say view. And then once you've added it to your learning, you can now begin taking that particular course right inside of my learning. And you can watch all this particular content and learn how to crush LinkedIn, how to crush email messaging, how to crush video selling. Okay, so those are the 3 areas that we cover, and there's about 15 hours of sales prospecting content that's embedded right inside there. All right, so let's review what we looked at today. We first went under FlyCuts, which are your personal shortcuts that you can create to be able to build out messaging anywhere. It can be as small as a simple Zoom link or complex as a video Giphy like you saw in my example. I taught you how to add categories and subcategories. I also taught you how to pin your extension to the top of your browser. I showed you where the training was at inside the application. I took you through fly plates and showed you how you know you're in a non-editable area and how you can check something out from our template library inside there. I also showed you the version control inside of there. I also showed you real time. I think we were on Gmail when I was doing this, but the grammar engine, it works everywhere online. Online. So as you start making changes, we'll automatically start reading it and suggesting changes for you. And I showed you the paragraph rewriter multiple times. You can do a paragraph, you can do a sentence, it doesn't really matter. And I also showed you the Fly Learning as well. That's our learning catalog. You've got 15 hours of sales prospecting training content all embedded inside there. And I showed you our LinkedIn commenting tool and our AI social post generator. 6 tools all in one. And it's actually on our corporate side, you may have access to our AI sales role play. I'll have a different video for that so that you can take a look at how to build out an ICP. and then turn around and how to practice cold calling and doing discovery calls. So I showed you a lot today. I hope you enjoyed this webinar. To onboard you, feel free to hit pause, replay anytime you want. Come back, get another round of FlyMSG. But now you've been fully equipped, and this is an amazingly powerful tool. Hey, if you have questions, if you need help, you can go out to YouTube and type in Vengreso. That's Vengreso. Just type in Vengreso into YouTube. You'll be able to see all of our short videos. Inside there, you could also click the graduation hat inside of FlyMSG. That'll also show you what you need to know for short video content and other resources. Hey, support at Vengreso.com. Hey, support at Vengreso.com. That's the one you're going to want to be able to message if you have any questions. We'll definitely try to get back in touch with you. And then, in addition, we've provided multiple emails. Look for emails right now that are coming from Hey Support at Vengreso.com and Mario.Martinez Jr. at Vengreso.com. You know what? Just look for at Vengreso.com, at Vengreso.com. Just go ahead and look inside of there. And once you find that, once you get inside there, you're going to find that there's access to our community here on WhatsApp. So I'm showing you my WhatsApp screen right now. And here on this WhatsApp screen, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different groups that you can join into. This is the FlyMSG users community. There's a link directly inside all those emails. I would encourage you to join it. If you want your post to explode and you're in sales or marketing, or you're in customer service and success, or you're in HR and recruiting, you're going to want to join these amplification pods where you can essentially drop in your link only into this and ask everybody else in this community to go ahead and like, comment, and or reshare this particular post. At a very minimum, we just like people's commentary there. So there's all kinds of different ones. You could also join beta testers if you have any general questions, feature ideas, and feedback. You can drop stuff inside there. If you're in recruiting, you can join the recruiter section. If you're inside of sales, you can join the sales section. So all kinds of great stuff that you can join when you're inside of the community. Join. And if you don't have the community email, or excuse me, the link to the community, just email hey support at Vengreso.com. Vengreso, one S. And we'll get back in touch with you. Hey, support at Vengreso.com. We'll get back in touch with you within about 48 hours. All right, that's the end of our webinar. Thank you so much for joining. We appreciate you being a customer. And oh, by the way, if you're on the free plan, you should definitely upgrade right now and get access to the growth plan. It's $66 per year on the growth plan. Come on. You're going to save definitely more than that in productivity savings. If you're one of our corporate customers, thank you so much for being one of our corporate customers. We appreciate you, and make it a great day. Take care, y'all. Have a good one.